Hello, welcome back to Boxing This Week. We're Boxing This Week, 23 now. It's a big week. We've got Jack Catterall beating Regis Prograis. Campbell Hutton on the undercard losing again. Could be the limit for him. We'll talk about that later. And we've got Liam Davis versus Mahood later on in the week, along with O'Shaquie Foster rematch against Conor Shao, which we might talk about, but I don't know. Paolo, how are you?
I'm good, my friend. I'm just busy. I'm working with SC Don's DFC on all their future shows. We've got a massive card coming up in Maidstone, Kent, on the 15th of December. Yes, it's a Sunday, God's day of rest. 5 p.m. onwards at the Ballin nightclub in Maidstone. It's packed out. We've already sold the allocated ringside tickets. They're gone. All of the ringside. Standing are going fast. Balcony tickets are going fast. It's going to be an interesting night of boxing. There's a couple of title fights on it. Talented fighters on. Come down. Like I said to you, just come down if you can. Ticket link will be in our bio for to the SC Don's website where you can purchase tickets. We're going to play a little clip for you as well, just to give you a little bit of a reminder or a warm-up of what DFC is and what we stand for.
Yeah.
Play it, man. No sound. Connor, no sound.
Oh, shit. Why has it done that?
Start again. We try to play that for you one more time with no sound. Technicals.
Did that not have sound?
No sound.
What?
This is a howler for us. Sorry, guys. We will, if we can
nice?
play it, we will. If not, I will post a link to it. Some technical issues there. But whilst Connor's trying to sort that out, if he can, if not, we'll have to move on. Yeah, DFC Kent, 15th of December. Massive card.
Volcano. Absolute volcano. You're waiting for it because it's sizzling up, it's boiling. You're on that volcano, but you're when's it going to erupt? And then as soon as that first bell goes in the night and the cameras are on and the lights are on, explosion.
Unbelievable. This is DFC. Well, this is fucking DFC.
Come see me, I'm not allowed.
This is crazy.
Big night of boxing, Connor. Players play.
Big night.
Players play.
There we go. Right, we're back. I'm not sure why we had technical issues, but weird.
Players play, man.
Yeah.
We get into the weekly roundup, sir.
Let's do this. Right. As we say, there'll be a link in the description for that anyway. So if that promotion that we've just done wasn't as bad, then go for it. But it's a good event. I mean, you went to one more recently, right? And it was brilliant.
So my first event working with DFC, which I'm a matchmaker, and I've got many roles on the DFC show, but one of them is matchmaking, and the other one is obviously media. So yeah, it was good. Night full of knockouts. Don Stratley was fighting on the main card. So yeah, great night of boxing, and looking forward to the next one as we kick off before Christmas, Connor.
Kick off before Christmas. Well, we got a lot going on before Christmas. Those kind of technical issues will not be happening once we're onto our own channel, which is where everything's going to go. And like we said, we're going to keep promoting that because soon we'll actually have something to get you guys to go over to. But we're working on that
name now as well. That's quite good.
We do, but we're not announcing that just yet. No. Right, weekly roundup, very quick one. There's not actually been a lot going on other than the fights, but Robson Kunchal versus Shaky Foster for the WBC title, big rematch, very controversial the first time round. We're not going to talk about it in too much detail because there's not been anything like crazy about it, as far as I know, for the week. Obviously, next week if something happens, then yeah, we'll give it a go. We'll give it a watch, but it's not been promoted very well. It's a bit of a typical top rank one. Nobody really knows about it, which is a shame. It's a good fight. Magnificent 7 event has been announced for December 7th with Denzel Bentley fighting for the British title against Brad Pools. Lawrence Okoli returning and a heavyweight. And Solomon Dakers versus David Adelaide.
More importantly, to remember, Lawrence Okoli is now signed to Queensbury.
He has, which is interesting. He seems to be getting around, if you like. Gone matchroom boxer at Queensbury. Weird, but wherever the money is, fair enough. Magnificent 7 event looks good as always. And Matchroom announced a Monte Carlo event headlined by Ahmad Daliov, who should be fighting Noah Inoue, but he just can't get that title shot just yet. And Chev Clark is the co-main. So, good fights, but not a lot's actually happened this week, which is why we're going to just go straight into Jack Catterall versus Prograis. Now, let's just talk about the main event first. The undercard had some brilliant moments, but mate, Jack Catterall's, I think, the best 140 pounder in the world. I think by quite a bit.
That's a big statement.
It is, but does he beat Teofimo Lopez? I think so.
Are we saying, does he beat Devin Haney?
Yeah. I think he could beat Devin Haney. I think he's just as good a boxer, but he hits harder.
Does he beat? Because let's have it right. He's in or around there. I don't like the splits in there because there's little splits. Does he beat, because it's a possible fight, Shakur Stevenson?
No.
So we can't call him the best 140 pounder. We can't.
But Shakur's still 135 technically.
Shakur will fight at 140, and you know he can, Connor. But my
I know he can. He can, but he hasn't, so he's not.
Does Shakur beat Devin Haney?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, man, I think we've answered your question. But right now, the 140s, Catterall is definitely up there. What a fighter.
Yeah.
What a fighter. I was quite shocked with how much he picked Prograis apart. That was probably the bit that surprised me the most. Not saying he wasn't capable of doing it, but he come back for some adversity as well. Questionable slip, knockdown, whatever you want to call it. And then come back and, yeah, like I said, he was down on the scorecards at that point, and then obviously went on to win.
Yeah,
I mean, look, yeah,
it's a good performance. It's top. Like the knockdown that he had against him is a knockdown because he got punched and he put his glove on the ground. He wasn't hurt by it. I was surprised Prograis couldn't actually do anything to Catterall. Like they both landed occasionally, but it felt like Catterall was hitting harder. He was definitely boxing smarter. I mean, Regis Prograis is a lot better than he gets credit for. That's a big win for Catterall. I mean, the fact we're still talking about Catterall as a non-world champion is crazy. But then that goes back to the Josh Taylor fight, the undisputed. Mm-hmm. He has to fight for a world title next. Has to be. I mean, they're saying Liam Paro versus Richardson Hitchens winner for the IBF world title. So obviously they fight December 7th in Puerto Rico. Haney needs a fight for his WBC title that he still has.
I think
Lopez hasn't fought in ages.
I think the bigger fight, the bigger time to make Haney and Catterall is when Catterall's got a belt. So I think he's got to go for one of the other belts. and then fight Haney, because it creates a bigger fight, a bigger event, and
True.
it makes more sense. It's just a massive fight with the titles, and then we're talking that's on Saudi, that's on the Saudi card. But you know what's mad, yeah? I don't think that would be a main event on a Saudi card.
Yeah, Haney Catterall doesn't scream main event, does it?
And I don't mean that in a disrespect. I'm just saying it's a massive fight as a co-main. But I think that Turkey, the way he operates, would make the card would be ridiculous, whatever card it's on. But there's only one promoter who's going to make that fight, and that's Turkey. Turkey Al Sheikh. That's
when you look at it, Haney's 31-0. Because the Garcia loss got ruled off, obviously, and Catterall's 30 wins and 1 loss, and that one loss is Josh Taylor, which isn't really a loss. So we're talking almost about 2 31-0 undefeated fighters.
Yeah,
it's one of the best fights there is in boxing, and yet it doesn't. It excites me because I want to see Catterall do well, and I like Haney. But I don't know. It's weird. It is weird. It's not a main event fight, like on a Saudi card at least. Anywhere else it is, but that's a bit different. I think Catterall could beat Lopez.
Yeah,
that's. I think Lopez is beatable. I think Catterall could do it. Haney's tough, but depends what Haney you get. Are you getting a weight drained Haney, in which case Catterall would outwork him, or are you getting Haney that realistically Devin Haney should be a welterweight? He's 140 pounds, crazy. Even his box rack photo looks malnourished.
Malnourished. Interesting one. We always go back to the how do I put it? The belts or the different divisions. I like to call them villains. That's what I'm going to call the different belt categories, villains. But it's a bigger fight if Catterall's got his world title going into it, in my opinion.
Oh yeah. I don't even know if Catterall gets the fight without a world title. Haney's a big name. I know he doesn't do numbers, but he does. Like his numbers are bigger than most, so it's a massive fight. I mean, yeah. One thing's for sure, Catterall needs a world title fight next. His last 5 fights have been Josh Taylor, that he should have won, but didn't. Dara Foley, which was his comeback fight. Jorge Linares, which, okay, it's an old Linares, but whatever. Josh Taylor, which he won, and Prograis recently, which again, and he's too good for that. He's beaten these guys with relative, he's made Prograis, Taylor, and Linares look all a lot worse than they are. The Taylor fight was good, but Catterall won most rounds. He needs to just fight for a world title now. That's the level.
It is a level. But obviously, drawing back to the Prograis and Catterall fight, it was Prograis' last fight we're going to see in boxing as well, because he's talked about going into bare knuckle now.
Yeah, well, so that's weird. After the fight, he did a retirement speech, really. We don't have the clip, but he says he's going to leave it to these young guys to sort of take over, which is, to me, saying he's done, which is fine, by the way. He's a 2-time champion, made his money, fucking do right. Then on Twitter, he's saying he's not anymore. So, don't know if it was an in the moment thing, but he's saying he wants to be 3-time world champion. Concussion. Maybe. It genuinely could have been. I mean, he got hit a lot. But it's another one. Having said that, fucking why not? The 140-pound division, it's not the strongest in the world. It's up there, but Prograis could do it. Why not? And I mean, the undercard had some good fights on there. The one I want to point out most, or 2 fights that we want to talk about most, is James Flint, Campbell Hatton. Because Campbell Hatton lost again. Do you think he's found his level?
Say that again.
Do you think Campbell Hatton's found his level? Do you think he can get better
Yeah,
than this?
Yeah, difficult to say. Some guys that you know what it is. I think going back to the drawing board and then boxing again, getting the experience. I still think he's very underexperienced just in terms of where he's at. So I don't think that we got to remember as well. Yeah, I don't think the losses end him. It's different. It is difficult to see where he goes from here because you're going to have to fight on a few smaller shows. Campbell Hatton is a big name because he's a Hatton. Yeah. So it's like, do you take a financial loss to go and fight on smaller shows or not on the shows necessarily you wanted to build your name back up? It's difficult because it's like you look at it like this. It's like I compare it to Cameron and Whittaker in the sense that Ben Whittaker, in theory, would or should probably climb higher than Cameron will in boxing. Like regardless of the draw, and it's the same with this fight. Campbell Hatton probably will climb higher because he's got the pull, because he's got the name, because he's got all these things. Like it doesn't necessarily come down to your records now or like who you've won clearly because the boxing boards do what they want. So let's be honest, the loss nowadays I don't think makes a massive difference. 10 years ago maybe, but now I don't think losing's a bad thing. I think you can only get experience from it. Maybe that's just a guy you can't beat.
Maybe. I mean, it's ballsy to go lose at the start of the year to James Flint and then have your next fight 7 months later be James Flint. That's tough. I mean, the problem I've got with Campbell Hatton, it's not. He seems like a nice guy. He's 23 as well, so he's young. Is when we go back on his record, there's Sonny Martinez. Now I don't know if anybody will remember that fight clearly, but that was his first 6-rounder, and he lost. He should have. It's not on his record because the judges were one of those ones, but it was a really bad performance, and he really got lucky. And after that, he went and fought in Spain, and he fought a guy that had lost countless times, and it just built him back up. But that Sonny Martinez one was bad. I'm worried that he's gonna this thing in his head where he wants to be as good as his dad. And that level is just not achievable for everyone. Not just him. It's just not achievable for everyone.
You look at it like this. It's like I think some of these fighters who have had father figures like within boxing, they've either got I use Conor Benn and Eubank as an example. They've both made their own. In my opinion, they've both made their own names in boxing.
Yeah,
I just don't see the same thing with Campbell Hatton right now. But Campbell Hatton is only 23, so to sit here and say that in 5 years' time he won't improve, he's not even hit his prime yet.
No,
but
of course not.
It's a difficult one because you're always going to have that comparison when you've got a father in the sport, especially you're talking about a Ricky Hatton.
Yeah, we're talking about all-time greats. That's these three are in the same boat. Eubank, Benn, and Hatton. We're talking three of the greatest British fighters ever and their sons. And unfortunately for Campbell Hatton, his start in boxing is a lot tougher than that of Benn and Eubank in terms of how he's dealing with it, rather.
It's a difficult one. I'd like to see him bounce back. I just find it very hard to see where he goes from this fight at this moment in time. But he will only know that in himself, what he can do.
Yeah.
So.
He's also his first fight with his new coaching team. He's been working with Ben Davis in that gym. So, he can definitely improve. I don't want to hear any of the retirement stuff. If he doesn't want to retire, then he shouldn't. Just slight worry that we're talking area title level and he's really not looking good. He looks a bit scrappy. But he could get there. The other thing I wanted to talk about, Pat McCormack came back after 15 months out of the ring. Did a 10-rounder. Looks solid. Not a lot to say about the fight. He looked good, but I mean, the judges had him winning every round actually, so clearly looked good. But less said on that. The one I want to talk about is Janai Bostan, because his boxing, those 3 rounds that he fought, oh my god. Let me get YouTube up actually. We'll watch
Get it up, man. Get it up.
Because this is, man, Errol Spence was praising him on it. Yeah, oh, that's not. Surely. What's the guy's name? Maiko. But like, we're talking about one of Britain's sort of up and comers here. I don't think he gets spoken about enough either, Janai Bostan. He's tough. I can't find any highlights for this, which is brilliant. All right, well, we're gonna have to. The only ones I can find look dodgy, and I don't know what the rules are on that, but I'm guessing we can't get away with that. So anyway, watch it. I will clip it when this is a clip. We'll put it in there. His movement just opens up the gaps. It's like when we were talking about Moses Satama earlier in the year, how he was looked like almost like prime Pacquiao the way he was moving. Bostan, yeah, same thing, creating angles that just
He's a talent,
you couldn't see.
Massive talent, massive talent.
Yeah.
Again,
it's
massive talent in boxing. For me, just interested to see where he goes. Still early on, so
very. He's one of the many sort of matchroom prospects. It's interesting. Matchroom's prospects don't seem as George is here. Matchroom prospects don't seem to be promoted as well as the Queensbury ones. I don't know if you find the same thing. George in the chat.
There we go.
But like when you think of prospects, I'm thinking Queensbury, the best heavyweight prospect in Moses Atama. They've got, I mean, Hamza Shearers isn't a prospect, but he was their prospect. You got a lot.
Hamza Shearers is not a prospect anymore.
No. Was.
Yeah.
As in when they had him at the time, and he's now grown up. Nick Ball at the time, they've got him from young. He's now all the way up. Whereas Matchroom, I can't remember who's the last guy that Matchroom have taken from nothing to champion.
Andy Joshua.
Other than that, like he's the big one. I'm trying to think recently.
Recently, from nothing, from like the ground up.
Well, from like fight 1 or fight 2.
Katie Taylor.
Katie Taylor's a good shout. So it just feels like Queensbury do it more. I mean, Dalton Smith will be Matchroom's big one. European champion, though, not. I don't know. It's interesting. That's just a weird little. I just feel like Queensbury Queensbury are the better promotion right now, but
yeah,
it feels like they are. So credit to them. Yeah, that's kind of. I mean, that's Catterall Prograis summed up. What do you want to see next for Catterall? Who next?
I just think he needs a world title, but he needs a world title before he fights Devin Haney. So just go pick one of them up. It's really that simple.
Yeah.
WBO, WBO, IBF, just pick one of them up. Then fight Haney. That's a big fight once he's got a world title. And the reason I say that is because he's underselling himself if he takes that fight now. If he goes in to the Haney fight of a world title, then it makes sense. I can't see Haney taking Catterall, especially after the layoff he's had.
Yeah,
he needs a tune-up.
Catterall's not getting a good pay for that.
Yeah, he needs a tune-up fight, Haney, and in that time, I think Catterall can definitely win a world title. In the wonderful world of the boxing boards, where does Catterall sit?
That's what I was just going to look at.
Can we? Do you know what I think? Are we able to screen share this for the viewers or not?
Yeah, we can. We can do that.
Let's do that because we need them to see what we're seeing. We can see the wonderful world of the way boards think.
There we go. Right, let me zoom in a bit. Right, so who the fuck is that? Oh, Okay, so WBC, Alberto Puello, sure, it is Devin Haney, but I guess Devin Haney needs to fight again.
Yeah.
Jose Valenzuela, Liam Paro, Teofimo Lopez. Now, in terms of rankings, Catterall's quite high on WBC. 5th on WBA.
Questionable.
Yeah, I mean, Nestor Bravo, Kenneth Sims.
IBF are moving greedy. Just put him up to 2. What do you mean not rated? Just move Catterall up. What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Who would that have been? And then
Josh Taylor's quite far down, isn't it?
Taylor's 6th. Prograde 8. Dalton Smith. Okay. Dalton Smith was Jose Ramirez is a bit crazy, but sure.
He's at IBF.
Yeah.
Of
course it is.
They stand for crazy. They stand for crazy.
I mean, WBA is just a bit odd.
Do me a favor, whilst we're looking at this for the people watching, please go back here very quickly whilst you've got the share screen. Just very off topic, but not. We will go back to it, but just go on Alexander Usyk again. I just need to see that one more time. I was in disbelief.
There we go.
Alexander Usyk. IBF. So go down the IBF. Alexander Usyk is not rated. It's mental, isn't it?
Nope.
And just to clarify, just look at that. Look who's above him. Do you know what's mad as well?
It's nuts.
Lawrence Okoli above Anthony Joshua, but hasn't fought a heavyweight. Makes sense. Makes
That's
loads
crazy.
of sense. And then like even do you know what Deontay Wilder even being in the rankings is a bit of a joke, I think, as well. By the way, now you can't. He's lost 2 fights on the trot. There's
a little bit.
That
WBO have Moses Italma above Wardley and Joshua and Hergovich.
Which is
don't get me wrong. Italma's great, and he will get there, but that's
a prospect.
Above
by the
Anderson. Way. Yeah, he's above Chisora being on there.
Chisora's in all of these lists as well. It's mental, isn't it?
Luis Ortiz beat Joe Joyce last fight, though, didn't he, Chisora?
Luis Ortiz.
That is a good win.
When's the last time Luis Ortiz has fought? Because he's still in that list.
Let's have a look. Oh my god, there's quite a lot of Ortiz's. Shit.
You look for that Cuban one, man. Puerto Rico.
A ton of Luis Ortiz's as well. Do you know what's going to be easier, actually, just to get Deontay Wilder? And find Deontay Wilder's best win. Last fought in January.
Where did he fight?
He fought in Colombia, and against a guy that had 18 losses.
How many losses?
18.
18 losses, right? Okay.
Yeah, he's 11th on WBA.
Who's he above?
12th.
Yeah.
Fuck. Is he on any of these ones?
Nah, no chance.
Wow. So WBC have him there. Have they dropped Andy Ruiz completely out since Ruiz lost? Like that's the one. So Ruiz beats Ortiz, draws to Miller, and he gets put nowhere in there.
Let's get UFC in, man. Let's get the Fighters League. Let's get something.
Yeah, it's not good enough. I mean, let's have a look at light heavyweight as well, because we had a little look at this. Bivol still there for WBC. Cool. WBA is not Bivol anymore, so maybe this one has not. Okay, it's not been updated. All right. Well, we can't look at this for that. Then it's not been updated, but. Actually, does this have the fact that Canelo isn't Yeah, William Skull for IBF. Which,
Canelo,
by the way, so Canelo.
Wait a minute, was Canelo ranked?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Mental.
Nope. That would have been him there.
Do you know what? Yeah,
Those
I'm
tremendous.
convinced. Yeah, I'm gonna put it that whoever runs the IBF is that's IBF in it.
Yeah.
They've got some condition. I don't know what it is. It's something because it's mental. William Skull. Do you know what William Skull? Yeah, sounds. I don't know, man. It's mental, isn't it? Like, yeah. I've had enough of them anyway. But yeah, this is my point I'm trying to make. That Catterall can get a title shot at one of these wonderful boxing boards, and then go and fight Devin Haney. But obviously, by the looks of it, it's how he moves up because I feel like he should be a lot higher, even on some of the lists. I even think putting him third is mental on some of them as well. Like putting him a bit higher. That he technically he's not really a mandatory for any of the world titles.
Just another thing with the super middleweights is that Caleb Plant appears on WBA as their interim champion and then is not considered a top 15 super middle by any of the others.
That's mental. Yeah, that's mental. You lot have lost it. Do you know what? Boxing has lost its mind.
Yeah.
Do you know what? Yeah. I've lost my mind of it. Just bring in the Fighters League. I'll vote for it.
Yeah. It's just crazy. Because like we said this last week, we were too much into it, but we can sit here and you could bring 100 boxing fans in here. We will all agree the best 5 fighters from each division. Mm-hmm. There might be like a little bit of every now and then you might go, oh, this guy's really good and this guy's really good. But we can all agree a general top 5. And it will be the same across each people, or most marginally the same. Mm. These lot have got four rankings of 15 fighters each. And there's fighters that appear in one ranking but not the other 3. And they'll be like number 3. Well, 5, right, this one. Osley Exiles is number 5 on the WBC rankings. He is number nothing WBA. He is number 7 IBF, and he is number nothing on WBO. How can 2 people rate him but one can't, or 2 others can't? That doesn't make sense. Yeah, fucking hate the rankings. It's stupid. Really stupid. Anyway, because we could just talk about that and get annoyed at that for, well, ever. Liam Davies versus Shabazz Massoud. So,
might even be bigger than the fireworks I got in the background. Sorry, guys.
I haven't been able to hear them, to be fair, so I think it's
Warzone. I can hear them. Warzone.
Yeah, it's a really good card this weekend. I don't actually know if it's been promoted well enough because I think people don't know that Chantel Cameron's fighting.
I think the fight's been promoted well.
The main event has, but I didn't. The undercard, I don't know. I've not heard anything about it. Decent. Obviously, we look into stuff, but yeah. But we got Liam Davies versus Shabazz Massoud.
Yeah, listen.
Top.
Liam Davies, if he wins this fight, he wants a Inoue.
Yeah.
Everyone wants a Inoue, let's be honest. But
yeah,
I feel like there's money in it. And I think if he sets himself up for a Inoue fight, if he sets himself up for an Inoue fight, that's massive for him. Regardless of the result or what he's got to dare to achieve, that is a big card. Go out to Japan. Then he said he wants a rematch in Telford. Can you imagine Inoue going to Telford?
That'd be the craziest thing. He just, oh my god. I love that fight though, but Inoue would win.
Yeah.
But I do love that fight.
But Shabbat, Masood and Liam, I think it's a good fight. I do think though that Liam Davis wins this comfortably.
I think he does. His experience, I think, carries him through. Shabazz Masood is probably, I don't want to be rude, but probably a little bit lucky that these two have a history of not liking each other, because Liam Davis is above this level. Now, Masood is also undefeated and does hit hard and could be this level, but I think it's too early for him. I think Liam Davis is on this crazy win streak of just knocking people out that I don't think Masood's good enough to stop that. But they don't like each other. It potentially could be a brilliant fight, but I could also see it ending in about 2 rounds. I can see Liam Davis being way too much.
Do you like in that sense? Yeah, the way that they promote it is fantastic. Because Cameron's on the undercard, isn't she?
Yeah, Chantel Cameron fighting Patricia Bergholt for the interim world title, WBC super light, meaning she'll be mandatory for Taylor Serrano winner.
Which I disagree with, because are we not looking at Sky Nicholson wants Serrano as well?
So Serrano and Taylor are fighting at a catch weight for Katie Taylor's belts. So Serrano, even if she loses, will still have her belts, meaning Sky Nicholson can still push for the fight. But it's a bit weird because of all the catch weight stuff. But Chantel Cameron will basically be mandatory for the winner of the fight, but currently Taylor's belts, yeah. So the division below.
I don't think she'll take the fight.
Katie Taylor?
Yeah.
Nah, I don't think so.
I don't think she needs. She don't need to take the fight. Joshua, like,
No.
see with her, yeah, like she's completed boxing.
Yeah, she doesn't need to fight anyone else.
She actually doesn't need to fight. She's become a national treasure. Yeah, I just don't see what's left for her. Can you get her up for Chantel Cameron and Taylor Free? I don't think so. Otherwise, she would have took that fight a while ago.
I think no matter what, I think she retires after Serrano.
I think if she fights Cameron again, she'll lose.
Yeah. Cameron's just that younger, sort of fresher fighter. Katie Taylor's looked, well, how do I say it? She looks like she's been in boxing a while now when she fights.
What does that mean?
She doesn't look fresh. Well, she doesn't look fresh. She's not going in there and like battering people. Chantel Cameron fights were tough. She was just standing there and trading. Serrano fight was the same. She's not going to go in there and beat anybody easily now. I would say Caroline Dubois would give her a hard day's work now. Still think she beat Dubois, but tough. Katie Taylor does not look like she did. Yeah. I think the mandatories are going to catch up.
Is too young. It's too young. That's like Daniel Dubois and Joshua. I'm going to be honest with you. I know you don't agree with that, Connor.
Yeah, I agree with that, but Caroline Dubois is brilliant. I could see Caroline Dubois beating Taylor.
Say that again?
I could see Caroline Dubois beating Taylor.
You're bugging out a bit, Connor.
Am I? What's going on?
There we go.
It's weird.
I can see a passing of the torch if they fight.
Yeah.
It's not looking good. It's not.
No.
It's not. I'm going to be honest with you. Chantel Cameron, I'm saying the second fight was close with her and Katie Taylor. The problem is within those collection of fights is there's a lot of head clash.
Yeah.
Head clashes, bad refereeing, and if it's a different ref in there on a different day, they might have deducted points from Katie Taylor. That's all I'm saying. And I'm a biggest Katie Taylor fan.
I think if it wasn't in Ireland, they might have deducted points. But in the sold out, I can't remember what it's called now, the Dublin Stadium, whatever.
Free Arena, is it?
Yeah, 3 Arena, that's the one. They're not taking a point off Katie Taylor. Chantel Cameron's unlucky. I don't think she won the second fight, but she's still unlucky. And Katie Taylor is, I think, should retire after Serrano.
Yeah.
Take the biggest payday that a woman's ever had. Fight in a stadium on the undercard of a shit fight, so you're really the main event. And then you're done. Why not?
Free Arena's not even the biggest one. It's Croke Park. That's where they want to fight.
Yeah, Croke Park is where they want to do it. But Croke Park would have to be Serrano 3. Chantel Cameron 3 wouldn't do Croke Park. And nobody else carries the name.
You could, yeah.
Unless you did like a mental undercard as well.
Unless they done a Riyadh season card in Ireland.
True, they could.
Riyadh season card in Ireland would be built up as well.
Yeah. They could do that. But the undercard would have to have, you'd need someone big because Croke Park's like it's like Wembley.
Yeah.
And Katie Taylor could do Wembley if given the right opponent, but
do you know what? It's mad. Like, I don't think she could do Wembley Stadium. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Not even with Serrano? Serrano 3 at Wembley?
No. Like I mean that in a respectful way. Like there's not many fighters that can do Wembley, male or female.
90,000. No.
Carl Froch, Joshua, Tyson Fury. Who else?
Yeah. That's it.
And there's a lot of male fighters that I could mention, like Conor Benn and Eubank would not sell out Wembley Stadium. It's a catchweight fight. There's so many. It's difficult. Wembley Stadium's a difficult one.
I think Conor Benn Eubank would do it. I'll be honest. I think that would, just because of the years of build up.
That fight would be on the same O2 Arena, maybe. No, the O2 Arena definitely. Sorry.
Yeah.
Wembley Stadium, the build-up's got to be mad. The undercard has to be mad to justify Wembley Stadium.
But everyone remembers Ben Eubank.
Carl Froch, George Rhodes, and Anthony Joshua on the undercard.
Yeah. We're talking big. We're talking very big. But I'm just saying, I think Ben Eubank's years of build-up already, combined with the fact it would be a Riyadh card, would do it.
But
or at the very least, it would do a stadium of 50,000. Wembley's big. 100,000 is crazy. I think it would do it though.
It's a difficult one. Wembley Stadium's a bit of a puzzle. But I think if they spoke about, for example, like Canelo and Hamza Shiraz fighting, that would do it.
Yeah. Well, Canelo can probably do Wembley on his own. Add a British fighter in there.
Yeah, that's it. We could talk about this all day, but just going back to it, Chantel Cameron, it's difficult. It's not necessarily a case of does she deserve the fights, because we know she does. It's if she's going to get them. There's a lot more to play at than just there's going to be a mandatory. The business side of boxing is poor, to be honest with you, to put it lightly. And I can just see that being the reason she doesn't fight Katie Taylor if Katie Taylor beats Serrano. True.
But if Cameron sticks around for long enough, she'll probably win everything anyway. She's good enough. And then under that, we've got Echo Esserman fighting against Ben Vaughan or Ben Vaughan or whatever. I'm not quite sure. Echo Esserman's good to watch. Pretty much always good to watch. That's for the European welterweight title, WBO. That's a very good fight. I think Echo Esmond should win that relatively easily, but I've not watched enough of Ben Vaughan to really give a proper opinion.
Yeah.
So could be a good one. Let's just have. I'm going to look at his record. 10-0 with 3 knockouts. His knockouts have come in his last 4 fights, so he's getting better as the rounds go on. But he's not fought anyone.
Queensbury are pushing him. Queensbury are pushing him, aren't they?
Yeah, he's not fought anyone on this level. And then we've got Ezra Taylor as well.
Ezra the Killing Taylor.
Yeah, he's fucking good to watch. I like watching him.
I'm actually excited to watch the cards. I really am. I'm going to be watching it from start to finish.
Yeah.
We're supposedly meant to be on the stream for that, Connor. I think we was discussing anyway. But if not, we can do. Oh, you've frozen again. Oh, there you go. If not, we can do.
What time does the event start?
We might do a stream 7 p.m. 6:30.
Right, because I'm in Liverpool for the football. I am coming back.
Maybe not, man. You're definitely not getting back. So we will do a review next week. 1,000,000% you're not getting back. It's going to take you 4 hours to get back.
Ah, shit. Yeah,
Connor, you're not getting back.
Okay.
Stay there.
So I'll do that
Stay there. Go out. My advice.
Nah, I'm with my dad. I can't be doing that. Can't. Well, I could, but I don't know. I don't think my dad's. Can't imagine my dad's going to go mental. Clubbing with my dad might be a bit sad. Don't know. Could be fun. But
I wouldn't know. But yeah.
Well, I've never done it either. I'm thinking.
No.
Probably not.
I could go club. I could. Never been clubbing with my stepdad. Dad died when I was 12, so I didn't really get to explore that.
Yeah.
Sorry. Make you feel a bit awkward.
A little bit?
No, I'm joking. Nah. It's all right. Yeah, so I'm not too sure on that one, Connor. But I would like to think it'd be a weird experience.
I think it would. I don't plan on it. I think I'm going to come home and watch whatever boxing's left or catch up on it. Yeah.
You gotta do.
Well, that got nice and awkward.
I love it.
What
else?
What else is going on in boxing? That's kind of everything, really. I mean, there's not too much more. Obviously, this is kind of the last. This is a really good fight week, but in terms of international fight weeks, this is the last one, probably till Christmas. That is more just domestic. Next week is November 9th. So we've got Boots
Jared Ennis is fighting.
Jaron Ennis and Jesse Rodriguez, the two kings. Then we've got the 16th, so we've got Billum Smith Zerdo. Then we've got the 23rd, which is off the top of my head, I can't remember. Fuck. 23rd's big, I swear. It's got to be big. What's the 23rd? Hold on. We're going to get it.
I'll tell you what, though. I'll be brutally honest with you.
Yeah.
I'm already trying to see what the lineups are for 2025 now. We're towards the end of the year. I know we've got some big cards left. Not now, but I'm saying I'm just looking into it. I'm excited to see what we've got next year. Because by this point last year, we already knew what was kind of ahead for 2024. So
True.
It's the same. It'd be interesting. Obviously, I'm sure stuff will come out over the next few weeks. Yeah, I don't think we're going to see that Dubois Joshua rematch, to be brutally honest with you.
No, it's looking weird. But then I don't know what I believe, if I'm honest. It's kind of, we need to wait and see. But no, I'm a little bit confused.
My best mate did bump into him. I think it was last week. They were at a party for John Oliver. If you know John Oliver, legend in boxing. I had the pleasure of meeting John Oliver. He's got his WBC Lifetime Recognition Award. He was one of Anthony Joshua's first coaches, eventually ABC. And Joshua turned up at the party and they had a chat with him. Seems very grounded. Seems motivated, positive. It's just difficult. It's just knowing where he can go next. Obviously, Joshua is a prize fighter of the highest caliber. So if he does get drawn out, regardless of if he wins or loses, he's not on a B side for a pay packet. Put it that way. That's the difficult thing with Joshua. Win or lose, he will sell a fight more than outside of Fury and Usyk. No one sells like Joshua, and I wouldn't even say Usyk. Usyk maybe more now. Yes, definitely.
But that was because of the Joshua fights, not before.
Exactly my point. The problem is who do you match Joshua up with? That's the money. That's one of the money man in the division. The only fight left that we need to see, which would be probably one of the biggest fights in heavyweight boxing, is Tyson Fury and Andy Joshua.
Yeah. It'd be better if we could see that with both of them with titles, but they've both got quite hard rematches. Assuming that Joshua does rematch Dubois.
Well, if Fury wins, it will be Usyk 3. If he loses, it will make it easier to negotiate the Fury and Joshua fight, which if Fury loses in December, we could see that fight in potentially April, May next year. Joshua and Fury, you had it first. Maybe January, February, March, April. April's probably realistic. 4 months. 5 months.
But Joshua is going to fight. I'm still convinced he's going to fight in February. I don't believe the reports I'm seeing. They might be right, but my heart is saying no. Don't know why. But there was nothing on the 23rd of November, unless I'm completely missing it. I can't find anything. So then after that, it's December 7th, Liam Paro, Richardson Hitchens. 14th, Gervonta Davis, Lamont Roach. 21st, Usyk, Fury. And then 24th, Noah Inoue versus Sam Goodman. So take us to the end of the year. So pretty fucking good.
Flying.
But yeah, that is everything. So I think we can do the outro because I can't think of anything else to say.
That's it. Guys, like, share, subscribe to the podcast. Big news coming, hopefully over the next week with regards to our dual platform, which we'll be posting more news about. All I'm going to say to you lot is that this will not limit. This will be a very, very entertaining platform because of the direction it's going in.
Yeah,
people are going to see a bit of everything. A lot of boxing. The weekly show will be here every week, but we've got plans to do some other things as well. There's a lot in the pipeline, and we are. I should announce because we should. Well, we are going to record this soon. We need to sort this out, but we are doing a live show from the studio. Me and Connor will be in the studio together doing a live show. It'll be our Christmas special. Might be a bit early because of timings, but the Christmas special, I will be in a Christmas jumper. Might even just rock up with a Santa outfit. I might just rock up in a Santa outfit. Just put it out there, innit?
Don't mind it.
But like I said to you guys,
we'll do
for the outro, like, share, and subscribe. Do it before you're in the mud, man.
Before you're in the mud. As always.